Have you ever wondered how healthy your trees are? I have. I spent most of my life as a television news journalist. I personally covered many tragedies involving trees falling on people's homes and cars, killing them instantly. I've always worried about the trees around my home in Milton, Georgia, and over the years I've hired Freeman's Tree Care to remove many dangerous trees. Just 6 months before I produced this video, a neighbor's tree fell in a wind gust and hit our home. I called Freeman's again, and within a few hours they took care of it. But given my history, when I heard that Freeman's Tree Care was launching a full-service tree wellness program, I was intrigued.
When we look at how trees, live and react in the environment, we understand that they have certain requirements as well. And so what we've launched an initiative to help those trees do better, and specifically with soil therapy. Trees in the woods, they choose where they want to live, and normally they're going to choose where they're going to have the best outcome. But in our landscapes, we pick where we're going to put the trees, and oftentimes we don't put them in the best places where they're going to have, good health. So if we look at the soil in the woods, it's very rich with organic matter, and it's actually a living environment. The soils that we have in our properties are mostly clay, devoid of soil fertility. So what we're able to do is put in naturally occurring products back into the soil where the trees can absorb them, metabolize them.
Freeman's is offering what I consider to be an inexpensive service plan of sorts for trees. They'll come out on a regular basis and treat the trees that need help.
We can get products down into where the roots are. And it's a misnomer that there are tap roots on trees. The majority of roots are going to be within the top 6 to 12 inches of the soil. So if we mix the products in water and keep them in suspension in a tank, then we can inject them into the ground under water pressure right into the absorptive root zone. So that way the tree can absorb them and translocate them and take benefit from them. It's a lot better than just a topical granular application where the turf usually gets most of that, or when it does metabolize, the tree doesn't get that much of a benefit from it.
When Dennis inspected our property, it took him about a minute to find a big problem. I asked him to look at the bigger, dangerous trees in the woods on my property first. He found something scary.
But what I'm listening for is just any kind of hollowness, and I'll go around, just sense that. You can, sounds a little bit hollow, right? Versus, and then here's what I'm thinking why. As I look right down in here where these two leaders kind of originate down in this union, there's a big hole here. I'm going to take the same hammer I used out front, and if I get snake bit, call 911. But here we go, going right in there. Look how deep.
That is the base of about a 100-foot poplar tree that could easily break off and hit our house. I had no idea that half the tree was hollow.
This tree is very dangerous. The fact that it's hollow, we know we're dealing with a soft-wooded species, and the fact that I've got your house within 40 feet of this, if this was to fail, the direction of travel would probably be right on your house. There's nothing I can do to really mitigate this, lower the risk. This tree needs to come out, and probably as soon as you can get a budget put together to get rid of it, the better off you're going to be.
After that surprise, I asked Dennis to find out what was going on with a hemlock tree that's used for screening from my neighbors. The one beside it had died recently, and the one on the end of the line of trees didn't look good either. Didn't take Dennis more than a minute to find out what the problem was, right where the tree meets the soil.
So what I've got here is a root that, instead of growing out toward the drip line, has actually circled the tree and is actually strangling it. And that can take a long time before it can show an impact on a tree, because as the tree is putting diameter growth every year, the noose around its neck, so to speak, the root, is strangling the tree more and more. So that's what we've got here, is a couple of girdling roots. I'll go ahead and cut those for you. It's not going to be a silver bullet, but that'll relieve some of the issues going on here with the tree not being able to absorb nutrients and water. The other thing I can do is collect a soil sample. It looks like we may have a nitrogen deficiency here, which is going to give it more green color. So the nitrogen could be here, but maybe the pH is wrong, so the tree can't metabolize it. But a soil sample will give us the results we need. Then I can give you a prescribed treatment.
That's good news because replacing this tree would be at least $500, maybe much more. Dennis said we can save it, and then out front he spotted another problem, caused by me. Too much mulch around the base of a tree.
And here what I've got is that I've got the mulch piled up against it. So it's a pretty quick fix in your case. But I just want to pull this mulch back and expose that flare.
I urge you to call Freeman's Tree Care for a tree wellness check today. It was fascinating. It's really interesting to watch a real pro look at your trees. And you might be very surprised, as my wife and I were, to find out how those trees are doing. Most importantly, a Freeman's Tree Service wellness check will help you keep your trees healthy, treat problems before they lead to something really bad. Call Freeman's Tree Service now for your wellness check. You'll be glad that you did. I'm Rich Noonan. Thanks so much for your time.